my concerns is the number of local authorities that are now providing the service. Obviously, Onchan did provide it and then dropped to the side, and now obviously we've got Port St Mary have also decided that they're no longer going to deliver that service. I feel that it's a wider discussion that's needed, and I feel that if we are being serious about recycling our waste across the island, then maybe it's time that government came up with an all-island scheme to collect our waste in certain ways.
But given that the DOI have been moving more functions and more responsibility back to local authorities in recent years, it seems unlikely that they would pick up the tab for that.
Well, that's where the debate is needed, and that's where I'm hoping the Minister will give an insight to what his own personal or his department's view is. If it's, I personally would like to see it being delivered by local authorities, but if that's the case, then government may have to support local authorities to deliver that service, because I'm totally in favour of local government delivering more services at a local level on behalf of its ratepayers.
Port St Mary cited the increased costs, the burden on the ratepayers of carrying out the curbside recycling that they earlier this month ceased with immediate effect with the collections, and they said it's also to do with the decrease in the value of the waste that's being recycled. Now, that's not likely to change anytime soon, so is it viable to propose that the government roll it out island-wide at this stage?
Well, the value of recyclable waste, paper, plastic, increases and decreases over time. It's maybe a wider discussion needed on the floor of Tynwald, that we actually debate that if the energy from waste levels decrease, because they should have approximately 60,000 tonnes going through it per annum, but if it drops to a significant level, then maybe the message to the Manx public is that please put your plastic in the bin, please put your paper in the bin. It'll go to the energy from waste plant, it'll be burned, it'll generate electricity, which lowers all of our bills. But at this moment in time, I remember when I put a question on the floor of Keys or in Tynwald, that the energy from waste plant, the waste level had increased a little bit. So I took comfort out of that. So at this present moment in time, it may be that the government intervenes and actually helps local government implement an all-island waste strategy or recycling scheme.
Could this be something that the community could be more involved in? I mean, curbside recycling schemes are an opt-in anyway. You're not obliged, even if you live in the area, to actually partake. But those who are of a mind to recycle will use the recycling bins that are there, will go to the amenity sites and do it of their own volition. Isn't that potentially a better way and a cheaper way of recycling more materials in the Isle of Man, encouraging the community to do it themselves?
Well, again, if we take Onchan as an example, I know from looking at the data that once Onchan stepped back from the curbside collection scheme, the amount of waste or collected through the brink banks increased year on year, and it continues to increase. So the question is the strategy that we put more bring banks sites around the island in order to collect that waste, or does government actually implement an all-island waste strategy where the waste will be collected from people's homes? As you say, the bring banks may be the solution. It may be the cheaper option, that we just put more sites around the island to encourage people to recycle more.